And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Brent let me try this again. Georgatou? Brent Georgatou. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, Brent. And Brent writes, I saw an early screening of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and I loved it. I hope it can do well at the box office so we can get a third movie made, but I'm worried about it. Obviously about the pandemic, sure, but I'm also very worried about James Bond No Time to Die. You said the other day that second weekend is really important, and Bond opens on Venom's second weekend. How do you think Venom can hold up against the mighty Bond? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. Appreciate that. And yes, this is going to be interesting to see because we've got several big questions kind of hanging in the air right now regarding Venom. Number one, how's Venom going to do at the box office? How's it going to hold up at the box office? That's a big question because I personally think Venom is probably going to come in around $50 or $60 million. I've upped my guess a little bit. I'm guessing around $50 to $60 million, which is good right now for the current circumstances. I mean, obviously not as good as Shang-Chi that made 75, not as good as Fast 9 that made 70, but I see it making anywhere between $50 and $60 million. And that's fine. The question is, what kind of legs does it then have? Well, that's where it could become problematic because James Bond, No Time to Die, and I'll see if I can get this a little bit larger for you guys. So James Bond, No Time to Die. Right now, Box Office Pro is projecting that James Bond, No Time to Die is going to make, and this is a pretty big range, but anywhere between $56 and $85 million on its opening weekend. All right. Anywhere from $56 to $85 million. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. They're speculating it's going to be anywhere between $45 to $65 million. I should point out that Sony itself is projecting $40 million. Sony itself is projecting Venom, Let There Be Carnage will make $40 million opening weekend, but Box Office Pro is going higher. They're projecting $45 to $65 million. All right. That's great. Let's say Venom does do well and it makes that, let's say 55, just for argument's sake. Makes 55 million. Hell, let's even go more optimistic. Let's say 60. Let's say Venom makes $60 million on its opening weekend. Okay. The question then becomes, what's going to happen in its second weekend? Because if you got James Bond, No Time to Die, that's going to be coming out and gobbling up anywhere between 56, which I think is low, and 85, which I think is high. I think Bond itself is probably going to make somewhere in the $60 to $65 million range, but who knows? We'll see. I mean, obviously, James Bond will be the number one film at the box office on the weekend it comes out. It'll be its opening weekend. Venom is going to be in its second weekend, right? So obviously, Bond is going to be number one at the box office. That's fine. But the question becomes, how much will Bond hurt Venom in its second weekend? Because a lot of people who, even though James Bond is a very different kind of movie than Venom, I think we'll all agree a lot of people who are excited about Venom would also be excited about a James Bond film and vice versa, right? Because look, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was able to have really great legs because it's a great movie. People wanted to go back to see it. They brought more people to see it, but it didn't have a James Bond No Time to Die opening on its second weekend. Because I'll be honest with you, I saw Shang-Chi 7 times in theaters. I might see it an 8th, I don't know. But I've seen Shang-Chi in theaters 7 times. But if Venom, Let There Be Carnage opened up the week after Shang-Chi, I may have only seen Shang-Chi 5 times in the theaters. Like instead of going back to the theaters to see Shang-Chi for a second time, on its second weekend, I might have been going to the theaters to watch Venom. Or if James Bond No Time to Die had opened there, I might have been going to see James Bond No Time to Die. What James Bond will absolutely hurt is second viewings of Venom. Because I think there's probably going to be a bunch of people who, in the absence of James Bond, they're going to go see Venom on its opening weekend. And if they like it, they very well could have gone back the second weekend to go see it again. But James Bond is going to be there. And so I think a number of those people who maybe would have gone back to see it a second time on the second weekend, they might go to see James Bond instead. So it's going to definitely hurt Venom, but how much? Can Venom maintain a 50 to 60% drop? Like, can Venom withstand dropping more than 60%? Can it keep its second weekend drop under that 60% mark? If it can, it's going to do just fine. If it has like a 65 or 70% drop, then it's in trouble. And by the way, this whole month is pretty stacked. Let's take a look at this for a second. Let's look at the October release thing. First of all, this week, it's not just Venom. Also opening wide is Addams Family 2, which, you know, I'm not interested in, but you know, a bunch of families are going to go see that, right? Also opening wide, obviously Venom, Let There Be Carnage. You also got Many Saints of Newark, which is a movie I'm very much looking forward to. This is the Sopranos movie, but let's be honest, a lot of people aren't going to go to the theaters to see this because it's playing on HBO Max, because, you know, Warner Brothers were stupid for putting this out day and date on HBO, and they're backstabbing their own movies. We've talked about that a lot. So let's move on here. So that's just this week. And then next week is not just James Bond, No Time to Die. I mean, that's the one opening wide, right? But you got a lot of other options, including the following week, you got The Last Duel, opens up the week after that. Halloween Kills is going to be at that. And then the week after that, you got the new French Dispatch, which a lot of people are very excited about. And obviously you got Dune, which is my number one most anticipated movie of the year. And then the week after that, you got Last Night in Soho, which I am dying to see with Anya Taylor-Joy. And of course, Edgar Wright is directing this. So, and then you're rolling into November 1st and all of a sudden you got Eternals. So that's the thing. It's going to be challenging for Venom. It is going to be challenging for Venom to see what kind of legs it can have. So anyway, guys, question is for you. How do you think Venom's going to hold up against James Bond, No Time to Die? Do you think it can plant its feet down and get those repeat viewers and get new people coming back to see it on a second weekend? Or do you think James Bond, No Time to Die opening up the following week is just going to totally avalanche over it? What do you guys think? Jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.